What's it sound like? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Am I up near the top or whatever? Check 1, 2, 3. Check 1, 2, 3, 4.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I don't know why that chair's there. It's probably in the shot.
This is Southern New England's trusted news source, ABC6 News at Noon.
Good afternoon to you folks. Thanks so much for joining us today for ABC6 News at Noon. I'm Casey Kantz. Weather is our top priority today. That's where we're going to begin. I'm going to start things off today, taking a live look outside on this lunch hour. A little bit of precipitation out there today. You see the cloud cover as well. But Nick, what you're really tracking is what's coming later this evening into tomorrow morning. Good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon, Casey, and good afternoon to you. That's right. We've got just some light showers right now, and the temperature 40 degrees. And a very light wind out of the southeast. What's coming is heavy rain and also very strong winds overnight tonight. Temperatures right now between 35 and 41. 41 in Newport right now. New Bedford, you're 42. And we're going to continue to raise those temperatures up as we continue into the evening and the overnight hours. The temperatures will rise all night long. This is the current radar. Notice that rain snow line. So if you go up to Smithfield, you might find a snowflake up there, but for the most part, it's mixed, very light showers, and again, temperatures above 32. Winter weather advisory for northern New England, gale warnings offshore waters. Those are the only weather warnings we have right now. The winter weather advisories for a few inches of snow in southern central New Hampshire, Vermont, and Maine, and far north country, they do have a winter storm warning for upwards of 6 inches of snow in far northern New Hampshire and Maine. But there's the quick burst of light precipitation that's coming in, but there's heavier rain that is behind that. The steady rain arrives 6 to 9 o'clock tonight. It becomes heavy. The gusty winds move in tonight as well, with rising temperatures overnight. And then there's morning rain tomorrow, tapering off to showers with dropping temperatures. So here's the day planner throughout this afternoon and this evening. With the rain coming in this evening, it will be heavy at times between 8 and 11 o'clock, and will continue overnight. And Futurecast shows that moderate to heavy rain coming in. Here's 10 o'clock. Notice the temperatures are in the upper 40s. If we go to tomorrow morning, we're in the mid-50s at 5 a.m. with some more moderate to heavy rain. We'll talk more about this forecast. We'll give you the wind speeds and see how much rain is going to fall. And we've got a holiday weekend coming up. We're going to detail that too. Casey?
Yeah, the rain obviously really the focus of those ranging temperatures too as we go into tomorrow.
Yeah, they're all backwards. They're going up tonight and down tomorrow.
Wow. All right, Nick, we'll check back in. Thank you. New details today at noon on that fire in Pawtucket we first reported this morning. That fire prompted a hazmat response early this morning. Pawtucket police telling us a security guard first saw black smoke coming from a factory building just before 3 o'clock. This was on Easton Avenue. The Rhode Island Emergency Environment Response and hazmat teams were called in because of the chemicals inside that building. The state fire marshal is now investigating. Coventry police arrested 2 men accused of robbing the T-Mobile store on New England Boulevard Monday. Police say the 2 suspects, who you see here, 19-year-old Ismail Diaby of New York and also 18-year-old Sheikh Bamba of Queens, were tracked down in a nearby parking lot after a foot pursuit. Both were arraigned and given $30,000 bail. Massachusetts police appear to be collecting more information regarding the disappearance of Cohasset mom Anna Walsh. Her husband, Brian Walsh, was reportedly captured by a security camera on New Year's Day near this dumpster behind a liquor store, and state police are reviewing the video. It's from a shopping center right across the street from Brian Walsh's mother's condo. Now, he was wearing a GPS monitoring device as he awaits sentencing in federal court for another unrelated case. Checking today's headlines now with the man charged with killing 4 University of Idaho students set to appear in court today. This for a status hearing. The 28-year-old was arrested last month, accused of fatally stabbing 4 students at their off-campus house in November. The suspect, Brian Koberger, was a PhD student in criminology at a nearby university at the time. He is being held without bail. A meeting set for tonight in Providence to provide parents with more information about school closures next year. Last month, RIDE confirming that 3 schools in Providence would be closing next year because of deteriorating conditions. Those 3 schools are the Carl Lauro and Alan Feinstein schools and the Gilbert Stewart Middle School. The parent information session is at Feinstein Elementary, and that will be tonight, like I said. Vineyard Wind holding a career fair in New Bedford this afternoon. 40 companies expected to be on hand, looking to fill positions in the offshore wind industry. The sponsor's telling us a food truck will be there, and childcare is also available on site. This fair runs from 3 until 7 tonight at the Andrew McCoy Recreation Center on Hillman Street. Changes coming to Edaville Railroad. The Carver Theme Park has ended its affiliation with Thomas the Tank Engine, and the Thomas Land section of the park will not reopen. Edaville's partnership with Thomas and Friends began in the early 2000s and controlled by Mattel Toys. At a recent meeting, the owners laid out plans for a proposed development of the Edaville property that would see the park become a Christmas-only attraction while also creating 336 rental units in 7 buildings. Turning to an ABC6 News follow-up now on that FAA outage that impacted flights in Rhode Island and Massachusetts, causing major headaches for travelers yesterday. ABC's Rena Roy has more today on what happened with this situation.
With the FAA's critical computer system back up and running, a senior official tells ABC the agency has increased staffing to monitor the system and help prevent another catastrophic failure. This amid a demand for answers with thousands of flights delayed or canceled across the country Wednesday. The FAA saying the meltdown was caused by a damaged database file in the Notice to Air Missions Computer System, or NOTAM, which delivers crucial safety information to pilots before taking off. A senior official telling ABC News during routine maintenance, an engineer reportedly replaced one file with another.
With a government system, we're going to own it, we're going to find it, and we're going to fix it.
Chaos in the skies all day Wednesday, with the FAA issuing a nationwide ground stop at 7 a.m.
When I walk in, it's just pure chaos.
By 9 a.m., it was lifted, but the delays were already widespread, about 9,000 of them, and more than 1,000 cancellations.
A lot of frustration. A lot of confusion.
This is something out of the control of the airlines right now.
Experts say the system is outdated. A source telling ABC a newer system would have caught the bad file. Rena Roy, ABC News, New York.
And still to come today on ABC6 News at noon, we had the latest on those classified documents found in President Biden's old office. We'll have new details on that situation. And a police-involved shooting in Florida with local ties to Rhode Island. What the suspect is accused of doing. Welcome back to political news today. And President Biden facing new questions today after a second batch of classified documents were found dating back to his time as vice president. ABC's Elizabeth Schulze with more.
President Biden is under intensifying political pressure amid revelations his aides discovered a second batch of classified documents, this time in his home from his time as vice president. Biden's lawyers decided to search for more files after finding an initial set of 10 vice presidential briefing papers in November at Biden's former private office. Some of them were marked top secret.
People know I take classified documents and classified material seriously. I also said we're cooperating fully and completely with the Justice Department's review.
The White House is declining to answer specific questions about the files, saying Biden's attorneys immediately contacted the Justice Department upon locating both sets of documents.
We're going to see all this unfold. I'm confident.
Republicans are accusing Biden of hypocrisy.
He goes on 60 Minutes, criticizes President Trump, even knowing what he has done.
The GOP-led House Oversight Committee launching an investigation into the documents and calling for the appointment of a special counsel.
We have now 2 different locations where Joe Biden had classified documents, but nothing's happened. He wasn't raided.
But former President Trump's Mar-a-Lago home was searched by the FBI after a long legal battle, his team refusing to cooperate with a subpoena. Prosecutors allege Trump took more than 300 classified documents with him to the estate and may have obstructed the investigation.
The White House has yet to answer critical questions like why the president's lawyers were cleaning out that former office in the first place and why the discovery of these documents back in November wasn't publicly disclosed any sooner. Elizabeth Schulze, ABC News, Washington.
And a man with ties to Rhode Island identified in a police-involved shooting in Pompano Beach, Florida. Deputies there say they were responding to a crime in progress Tuesday night when that suspect, Joseph Francis, attacked them with a weapon. Officers shot him. Today, he is listed in critical condition. A person close to Francis says this must have been a case of mistaken identity.
The real gut feeling is that this is a case of him being in the wrong place at the wrong time. He has no reason to be out, committing any crimes.
So Francis works as a boat mechanic in Pompano Beach. In 2020, he was arrested in Rhode Island, accused of threatening someone with a gun and a baton during a road rage incident in East Greenwich. Parents and students in Stoughton are not happy about changes in classroom policies. The superintendent has banned all flags except the American flag from being displayed in the classroom. In a letter to families, the district explained the policy is to create a neutral learning environment and that to stay consistent, there was no way to allow one type of flag, like a Pride or Black Lives Matter flag, without allowing others.
People in those communities, they're not different from other people. We're all people, and supporting those communities doesn't make something non-neutral.
This is stifling the students in reference to their growth and their self-identity, and I think it's a shame.
The superintendent has stressed that faculty members do have the option to wear ally necklaces to show their support for LGBTQ rights. Still to come today on ABC6 News at noon, we're going back to meteorologist Nick Morganelli, who's got a full check of today's forecast, plus a full look at that 7-day. That's all coming up. Stay close. Welcome back. First on 6, the Providence Fire Department has its first permanent leader in years, and as Natalie Nuri tells us today, first on 6, the new Providence Fire Chief wants to train the next wave of leaders.
For 7 years, the Providence Fire Department has had no chief, but now things are changing with Derek Silva at the helm, who's hoping to focus on 3 main things to start his time off: efficiency, transparency, and retention. The Providence Fire Department has been without official chief leadership since 2015. And now that Mayor Smiley has taken office, a new chief has been named, the youngest in department history.
Exciting. A little bit of anxiousness, but in a good way, because there's so many things I want to tackle.
Trying to start the new year and the new role in the right direction, Silva told ABC6 a few of his priorities.
There's some technology advances and some leadership training and some real, comprehensive organizational items that I want to tackle early on and really set expectations and kind of a new time for the fire department and try to get us into the next generation.
With this 21st century approach to leading the department, Chief Silva says he's prepared to recruit and retain more firefighters while also training those in the department for future leadership roles.
And actually I have the fortunate ability to pick my own leadership team in concert with the mayor, who serves as the Public Safety Commissioner, that will be deciding who fits those roles in the next few weeks. So it's a really exciting time for the department.
Silva also wants to take another look at resources within the station to make sure the department is as efficient as possible when responding to calls.
And so I know that we'll be able to do some great things under Mayor Smiley's leadership and then now mine in the fire department.
Reporting in Providence, Natalie Nuri, ABC6 News.
And now, your ABC6 Storm Tracker weather with meteorologist Nick Morganelli.
All right, some rain and wind on the way, so we're going to start there with our weather headlines and show you what's ahead for those two things. Ready, the rain gear. It's a soaker overnight with over an inch of rain. We'll show you that. There's a gusty wind that will develop 20 to 35 miles per hour, peaking pre-dawn, and then sunny and seasonal cold weekend. Here's the rainfall forecast, and check it out. This is by 6 o'clock tonight. Not too much, not even 1/10 of an inch of rain. As we go to 11 o'clock, we've got about 1/4 to 1/3 of an inch of rain already. And then as we go to early in the morning, 5 to 6, 7 o'clock, that's when we'll get most of our rain. But by 10 o'clock, it's all done, and we've got an inch to an inch and a half. Wakefield, maybe 2 inches in a spot that gets the heavy downpour during tomorrow morning, because there will be a round of downpours moving through, and not everyone will get those, but you get the idea. It's an inch to an inch and a half widespread across southeastern Massachusetts and Rhode Island. 6 o'clock tonight, the wind starts to freshen out of the southeast. There's not much wind out there right now, but it starts to ramp up to 20 to 30 miles per hour this evening, and then overnight it peaks between 30 and 40 miles per hour. Look at New Bedford, 40-mile-per-hour gusts at 5 o'clock in the morning. It's not enough to create some tree damage or power outages, but certainly something to watch. That starts to move out later in the morning as well, and the wind will still be busy during the day tomorrow, but it tends to lessen in speed. And you can see the southeast wind becomes southwest, and then it shifts around to the northwest later on tomorrow night as we begin to dry out. There's some snowfall across northern New England. That's good news for the skiers. We had a rain snow line through Rhode Island here with a little bit of snowfall. Nothing really accumulating, but it just moistened the ground a little bit. And that's ready to end, and we'll have a little bit of a break this afternoon before this next batch of moisture comes in. And look at ahead of that, tornado watch down there across Tennessee and parts of the South. There's a lot of energy with this system, and that's moving our way. You see behind it, there's not much happening, and that's our weekend weather. As you look west of the Mississippi River, it's pretty clear. But look offshore, off of California again, another huge cyclone in the upper levels of the atmosphere. They're going to continue to get slammed with storms out there, and those storms are the ones that cross the Rockies and form, like this one, and move our way and bring us the rain. So here we go. This is tonight. A warm front slides to the north. Even the North Country changes from snow to rain. We're very windy ahead of the system with the heavy rainfall. And then that cold front, the blue line with the barbs on it, the little arrows on it, that slides through Friday afternoon. And that will give us the drier weather tomorrow night and set us up for a sunny weekend as high pressure builds in from the west. So tonight, 54, Heavy rain, yeah, 54. The temperature goes up all night tonight. So that by tomorrow morning, we're about 54, 55 degrees with a strong southeasterly wind. Then we drop back to about 45 by the end of the day, Friday. So we'll call it 50 for tomorrow. Early rain and then evening clearing. 7-day forecast shows the sunny weekend. It's chilly, it's frosty by Sunday morning, 38 for the high on Sunday. Martin Luther King Day holiday, pleasant and 40 degrees. And then we get to the mid to upper 40s Tuesday and Wednesday. So this is the only inclement weather day on that 7-day forecast, and still no snow and no Arctic cold yet, Casey.
All right, get that ABC6 News app to get those instant weather alerts for the next 24 to 48 hours. Nick, thank you for that. We have more to come today, still here at noon, including the Golden Globes. They were held earlier this week, but the ratings are down. How the broadcast fared on Tuesday night, we'll tell you coming up. Welcome back. If you didn't catch Tuesday night's Golden Globes, you apparently weren't alone. The awards show, which was suspended from NBC last year and then came back this year, saw its smallest audience ever. That's not counting the press conference that was held during the 2008 writers' strike, but 6.25 million people watched on NBC. That's down 10% from 2021. Well, keep your eyes to the sky this month. NASA says if you do, you're going to see a comet. A glowing green comet will make an appearance for the first time, ready for this, in 50,000 years. So here's what to look out for. It'll have streaking tails of dust. It could actually look fuzzy. The comet will be closest to the sun tomorrow and then closest to the Earth between February 1st and 2nd. NASA says people in the northern hemisphere should be able to see it in the morning sky all month. Still to come today at noon, Girl Scout cookies. That's what we're talking about today. Even better, a new flavor. We'll introduce you to it next. Huh? What? You said skip the last line? All right. All right, had to get this in today. Calling all Girl Scout cookie lovers, there's a new treat to the lineup. It's called the Raspberry Rally. There is one minor catch. It is exclusive. You can only buy it online. Starting February 27th, though. You can do that as the Raspberry Rally will be ready to order. Nick, what's your favorite flavor? You only have like 10 seconds, so hurry up.
All right. We're wrapping up. Steady rain arriving 6 to 9 o'clock tonight, and heavy rain and gusty wind overnight with the rising temperatures. And then tomorrow we dry it out later in the day. So your commute tomorrow, just be aware of the wind and the rain, wet roads in the morning and dry roads in the evening, and the 7-day forecast showing the cooler, drier weekend coming in.
Are you Thin Mints, Do-si-dos?
Yeah, what's that?
Your cookies?
Yeah.
All right, sounds good.
I like them.
We'll see our next broadcast later tonight at 4. Keep up to date online too at ABC6.com. For Nick Morganelli, I'm Casey Cants. Have a great rest of your Thursday.